Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours, along with Nick.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. And we'll see who else will join us as time goes on. Spence is out of town. Mike has company, so he said that he may join us for a little bit, as time permits. Our number, 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And this morning's show is made available and possible by Vmix Software, Telestream's Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. I got it out.
Oh, thank God. Wouldn't have been able to start.
So what's new with you? Anything?
Not much. Just getting over a cold, as I'm sure people can hear.
Is it on the way up or on the way down?
The way down.
Okay, good.
It's the best I felt in a couple of days.
No wonder you were kind of out of touch in the last few days here.
Yeah, I've been pretty.
Yeah, it's fine.
Plus, the new game came out, which has not been good.
Not
Not good.
What was that game? What's that game?
The new Call of Duty came out, so I came out Thursday at Friday morning at midnight. So Thursday night, played it till about 7 in the morning. Got about half an hour of sleep, and then went to work, and then came home, and then played it all day again, and got a couple hours of sleep. But we're good. We're good.
Oh boy, oh Nick.
Yeah, well, we're good.
Well, it's something to get excited over, so that's always good.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
yeah.
I had a good time, so all is well.
Good.
Actually, you'll enjoy this. Let me see.
You're
I know you're not a big. I know you're not a big Twitter user, but this was you'll find this funny. This was my preparation for the event.
I don't see Twinkies.
No, I don't eat that junk. Just this junk. It worked. Now,
Okay.
this is completely irrelevant, but we talk about. We don't necessarily talk about, but large services having server issues and technical issues from time to time. The servers for this game were down for the first 2.5 hours of the launch, which is a significant amount of time.
And that was because they were overwhelmed?
There were hundreds of thousands of people all trying to connect.
Yeah.
So even the biggest of them all. I mean, this is the largest, in my opinion, the largest video game franchise in the world, and even they had issues. The servers didn't come up until about 2:30. Pretty long waiting period there between midnight and 2:30. But everything is sorted out now. But even those guys have to deal with that stuff, I mean, you can only handle so many connections. Doesn't matter how good of a backbone you have or how good of a connection you have. I guess you can only handle so many hundreds of thousands of simultaneous
and
hits to your server.
Not only that, but there are also bottlenecks along the way that you're
Yeah.
not aware of, depending on the route it takes. Yeah, so I know Friday night, Steve Haywood was doing like a show, so to speak, with and it took a long time before they were actually up and running normally. I mean, a long time. I'm talking half an hour or more. That Facebook will go up and down, or I don't know if it was Facebook or it was his link, and then the Joycaster was having problems, and it was a fiasco in the beginning, and I went to sleep. I mean, it was. You could see that it's something is really seriously wrong somewhere. Yeah, so I don't know if that had to do anything.
I was just saying, it was a little bit of a wake up call to realize, like, hey, these guys have got an issue, and they're making millions of dollars within minutes of this game being out in terms of copies sold. Then
did they do anything?
Yeah, I mean, I bet they fixed it.
Okay.
I mean, it was up by 2:30 in the morning. But if they have issues, I guess you got to be able to cut some of these other people's slack. Some lesser groups or lesser websites or lesser companies.
Yeah.
So maybe more of a reality check than anything else.
So then, did you play it last night?
Yeah.
And everything was fine?
Yeah, it's been fine since. It was fine Friday during the day. After I got home from work, I played all Friday during the day.
Call of Duty.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it was fun. Had a good time.
Good.
So that's why you won't hear from me for the next 2 or 3 months, because that's all I'll be doing when I'm not when I have downtime.
Nick is going around and is
child at heart,
protecting us, virtually protecting us.
Yeah, and World War II, nevertheless.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
They're going with the new version, and they're going back.
Yeah, and it works out very well.
Interesting. Are the uniform and everything authentic?
I mean, I don't know how authentic, but everything is old.
Nice. Wow.
So yeah, pretty cool.
919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. There's something in Windows that I thought was always there. It says that with the release of Windows 10 Full Creators Update last week, the controlled folder access that Microsoft touted in June is now live for millions of users. As the name hints, the controlled folder access features allow users to control who can access certain folders. The feature works on block everything by default philosophy, which means that on theoretical level, it would be able to prevent ransomware when it tries to access and decrypt files stored in those folders. I thought you could always do that. I mean, I never done it, other than when you share a drive, you tell it who can share it and at what level. But yes, this is perfect. Block everything by default. I always said that the reason why Windows hosting, Windows Server, why Windows in general got a bad name, it's not because it's a bad operating system. It's because they were trying to make it friendly to everybody. It was everything open and you need to know what to close, versus with Linux or Unix, everything is closed. You need to know what to open. And when you make it, and if everything is closed and you need to know what to open, you have to know a little bit more about the operating system in order to actually be using it. And there are a lot of users out there that don't know it. And if that was the case to begin with, a lot of people will be unproductive. So they made it so everything is open. You can use it. Now, if you want to be secure, figure out how to close it. So apparently now everything by default is block everything, and then you need to open it. And that's for you can take your My Documents. You can take, I mean, for instance, you can block the Windows folder and your programs, all programs, and all these folders, and nothing will be. You don't need to get there anyway. So we'll see. I don't know. It's an interesting interesting thought to make it.
It is, and
yeah.
I mean, security's always been the issue, right?
Right.
And that's just
absolutely
Windows downfall.
Yeah.
On a very quick note,
yeah.
Make sure everybody sets their clocks back an hour. Right, that happened last night. And what is that's change your battery in your smoke alarm and your NOAA weather radio.
Oh yeah, didn't do that.
You got to change both your batteries and set your clock back.
Yeah, I went to sleep at 9:30.
Jesus.
So I changed. I mean, it was 10:30, but it was actually 9. I always like to change it early and just get it over with. And I was reading this morning that there are a lot of states that say we shouldn't do it anymore. We should abandon it. And from business point of view, the article made sense because a lot of retailers want to have more daylight at the end of the day, so shoppers will go out there. They say that there will be less accidents, less crime because the daylight is longer. So it's an interesting back and forth, but they always say, hey, yeah, we'll do it if, like Massachusetts will do it if New Hampshire will do it. Because I don't understand how you live in Arizona and everybody around you is an hour away.
Well, this doesn't make any sense, man. I've never thought about this. The daylight savings time happens here on the East Coast at 1:59 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Becomes 1 o'clock. Does the same thing in California. So for a 3-hour period of time, we're only 2 hours away from them.
Wow. Yeah,
it's just a little weird.
It is. Yes, it is. But it makes no difference. Things just keep on rolling, you know.
Correct. It's just a little, little weird. Something you don't think about.
Yeah, and you wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, geez, it's only 6." Well, no, it's 7. My body's telling me it's 7. No, it's 6.
Yeah.
And do you use Audacity?
I do. Every day. We use it at the radio station. I use it personally.
So, popular open source audio editing software Audacity has received a significant update. The new version, dubbed Audacity 2.2.0, adds a range of features and options such as additional user interface themes and the ability to customize themes for advanced users. It is also getting playback support for MIDI files and better organized menus. I think I used it one time and that was it. But I know a lot of people are using it.
You know what would really be great in this update? The built-in MP3 encoding by default. That would have been nice.
Now what is it now? What's the default now?
Well, you have to install the MP3 codec lame manually with Audacity.
Really?
Yes, because they don't have a license for it.
But I thought MP3
it is now. Yeah, that's what I find stupid is it should be.
Yeah,
should be in by default. Yeah, but
I
before it
agree.
wasn't open, so that makes sense that it wasn't available per se.
So you
Now,
installed the new one?
no, I will probably won't. I looked at the UI. I don't like it.
Yeah, they didn't mention anything about the MP3. So
Yeah, which is just kind of lame because the whole point. Oh, I guess that I wasn't trying to make a joke. Pretty stupid.
Yes, it is. If that's the
It's
case.
open now. They have absolutely no reason to not have the MP3 codec built into the software.
So did you hear? CNN is gearing for another big step. CNN.
Mm-hmm.
It plans
Fake
to
news.
launch tiered subscription offering for its digital news business. I had a question about this. Are they going to accept fake money?
Well, my question is, are they going to be publishing real news if you pay for it?
I guess it all depends what kind of money you pay them.
This is all part
jeez.
of. This was about a year and a half ago. There's a very popular YouTuber by the name of Casey Neistat.
Uh-huh.
He created an app called Beam that was kind of like Snapchat. And the app never really took off. But he had a very popular YouTube channel. And he would, what I guess you'd call him a trendsetter. Maybe an influencer. He had a lot of influence. If he told people to do something, they would do something. CNN actually bought out his company about a year and a half ago, and the idea was that they would be building some type of digital news service with CNN. So I believe this is that first step of that process.
Mm. Okay.
But I mean, nobody wants to pay for this crap.
No, you can get it.
CNN's already not free. You have to have a cable subscription to watch it.
Yeah, that's right. And why would you watch it? But anyway, let's not get into that.
Yeah, but it's just interesting. It's already a paid-for service. Now they're going to pay for you to do it online.
And
odd.
Another interesting piece of news here: support document describing new premium Outlook.com features for Office 365 subscribers hides the real story today. Microsoft just killed Outlook.com Premium. So there is no more Outlook.com Premium. I guess it's all free.
Well, but so they're probably moving all those people to 365.
Yeah. It's I'm telling you, it is the worst spam engine out there. And there's nothing I can do about it as an ISP. Because there's a lot of spam coming from Outlook.com, or some of them still hold the identity of Hotmail.com. And when you report, like through SpamCop, the response is that the company doesn't want to hear about that. That Microsoft doesn't want to know about that. That they don't care. Because when you report it, it would go to the server that was used. So they know. And you can't block it. I mean, in many cases, I would see something that is a problem, I'll block the domain. But, I mean, you can't block Outlook.com. A lot of businesses are using it. So it's really a problem there.
There's a whole bunch of weird aliases, too.
To what?
Like Hotmail. There's like 5 or 6 different live.com.
Oh, yeah.
A whole bunch of weird places that email can come from them.
But the point is, you just can't kill them.
No,
because they're too important.
I think they own mail.com. I'm not sure, but they have a whole bunch of stuff.
So I told you I figured let's talk vMix a little bit. So if I do the transition now to me, zip, and then it'll back out. And it's kind of ass backwards. And that's why it took me so long to figure it out. I finally went and looked at some more videos and realized what you have to do. And it's not straightforward. But it's nice. It's really nice.
There you go.
Because now you don't have to sit there and just, that thing is there the whole time. I mean, I can bring it over here.
Perfect.
And I'm getting very, very comfortable with it now. Doing experimenting, it's very neat. And when they were talking about what is the cheapest version, $60?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to do any kind of live streaming, $60, and it works. It's not like it's limited time, whatever. It works.
Well, yeah, but there is limited stuff. It's only
normally somebody who's sitting at home and just want to do it doesn't need more than what they give you, I would think.
Well, I don't know. The 4 inputs is pretty limited. But I mean, and this isn't a dig against them, but it definitely beats the price of Wirecast, which the cheapest version of that is like $600. So
right, $699, I think.
Yeah. It's not a dig; it's just a observation.
Okay, so explain. You just put something there about Discord.
Yeah,
and I saw that Steve and them set it up, and I went there, and I mean, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's not a chat application. I'm not really sure why it was implemented in the use case it was implemented in.
Well, you're an admin.
Yeah, I know I'm an admin, but I'm just saying it's not really the implementation for the service.
Just the chat. Yeah, it's way too much.
It's not what it's meant for. It's meant as a community. Alfredo tried calling in. It said the phone wasn't working or something.
Oh shoot. Go ahead again, Alfredo.
But yeah, Discord is I'm in. Let me look at my thing. I am in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm in 17 Discord groups inside Discord. But it's not a chat room really. It's a place for a community to collect. It's not really meant for a chat room.
Hey, Alfredo.
Hey guys, I had a question about the fake news thing that you mentioned. Wasn't Facebook kind of accused of generating fake news during the presidential election, or was that something that the media kind of created up?
Nick, you want to take that?
Well, creating fake news, I don't necessarily know if that's the proper phrase. They were taking money from people that were supposedly creating the fake news, and then on the other side of it, they're currently being sued right now by somebody over bogus analytics, which is just not surprising to me in the slightest, because that's all Facebook does is game the system. So, they're in a lot of hot water right now, because now that it's come out that they were taking political money from groups in foreign currency. See, this is the thing. I personally don't care one bit, because that's capitalism. If somebody's willing to buy it, they should be able to sell it. But the fact that they were taking political money that they were taking money for political campaigns in foreign currency is a huge issue for a lot of people. I personally don't care one bit, but it shows that they knew exactly what they were doing, and they didn't care, which they shouldn't care. They should be able to take money from whoever's willing and wants to buy. And that's just my personal opinion.
far as my opinion on that, I'm still learning up on the. I just heard from you that they're currently being sued. That's news to me.
I believe they are. I would double check that, but I'm pretty sure I read a headline this week that somebody was filing a lawsuit against them over their analytics.
They were just they admitted to Congress that their numbers were skewed and that probably over 200 million users are fake. That's what they're saying. And the rumor is that it's a lot higher than that. So and it served somebody's purpose. And you know, when you say fake news, Alfredo, it's not like you go there and you read a headline that says, Hillary is the president. It's if you look at the page, and it's still going on. If you look at the page, there are like articles there somewhere with pictures and stuff, or with just headlines, and you say, I can't remember. I remember seeing something. Hollywood says goodbye, and there was a picture of some actor that I like, and he was young, and I said, "What? He died?" And you click on it, and they're talking about him, and then slowly it goes into how he. They're selling pills. They were selling diet pills, whatever. So it's stupid. I mean, you know, it gets your attention, and then it's really got nothing to do with it, and that is bad because it just wastes your time. So if I was going to Facebook a little bit before, I mean, I don't even go there anymore, other than and I need to do it now. I forgot to post the link. So I don't know. The fake news became Trump made that expression stick, because he called all these about the news, about the media that was talking about different things and saying, "Nah, that's fake news. That's not really true." And people found out, oh, he's right. Oh, he's right. Oh, he's right. And the biggest right was that he got elected, right? And they said, no, there's no way. There's no way. Thank God they were wrong.
But the thing that's just the most shocking to me is how they were accepting political ads in foreign currency. I mean,
it's a business.
Exactly.
Like
But
said,
and see, that's the thing is, that's not, personally, I could care less, but that shows that they knew exactly what they were doing. Again, which is fine. I really don't care. But you know, they can't say, "Oh my God, somebody was buying fake ads." Yeah, well, when people were buying millions of dollars worth of, or not even hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of ads in foreign currency, I mean, why was there no look into that if it was such a big deal? Because they didn't care, because it was money is money, and they shouldn't care. I mean, if I want to go out and buy $100,000 worth of ads in the yen, then why should Facebook say, "Oh no, we're not interested in that"? I mean, that wouldn't make any sense.
No, it won't. And the stockholders of Facebook tell you the same.
So, I guess the question about Facebook is, are they turning themselves into a media company, or are they still a social site?
They've got their hand in every cookie jar possible, it appears.
Wow.
I mean, they literally are in every service. They are doing stuff in every service. So it's they've got money to do anything they want. The question is, Zuckerberg himself is hated by people. They really dislike him. And now after the election, people now have a negative attitude towards Facebook because they've been, they talked about all this, oh, fake ads, fake ads, fake ads, and then it came out, oh, well, we were actually accepting the money and we knew the ads were fake. Now people are all pissed off about that. They just don't have a very favorable opinion with people right now, I think. But they are in every little system they can be in, they are.
And yet everyone has a profile on Facebook, but we're still kind of anyhow.
Well, I mean,
no, he's right. Everybody does.
Yeah, it's because if you're in business, you should be there. If you have any friends around, you should be there. But it all depends if you live by it or you just kind of know, okay, it's for that purpose. I just want to keep up with what my daughter's is doing, and she wants everybody to know what she's doing, or I want to see what my parents are doing, things like that. But to live by it and to live there, like a lot of people are doing, that's where it becomes a problem. And by the way, guys, the Facebook link is up. I forgot to do it earlier. But yeah, it's something you need to know how to behave and how to take. I wouldn't say take advantage. It's not a matter of taking advantage. How to use the tool. You know, you can hold a hammer in your hand, and if you don't know how to hammer a nail, you're going to hit your fingers. So if you carry the hammer with you and you're trying to hammer everything in sight, you're going to get hurt. It's for certain things. It's the same thing with social media. With me and with my idea of it is use it for what it was intended to. It was never intended to be a news outlet. It was, you know, I remember when Facebook started and we were sitting in the studio and somebody said Facebook, and I said, a what? Said, yeah, for students to talk with each other and to keep up with what, and they want to keep the rest of the world out of it. They just want to leave it for students. Great idea. But of course, I mean, it is capitalism, and if other people want it and all that, hey, great. But use it with the understanding that, first of all, you know, if you have a family, the kids don't think about it, but they really should know what to put on it and what not to put on it. There are situations where they may get hurt in the future because of it. A parent should be. It all falls into the same pot, kinda, but there are different implications. For business, there is an implication. For kids, there is. For yourself, there is. I mean, it's different things can happen that will come into play later on. So you got to make sure that you are protecting everybody that you have the power to protect. But it's all of social media is like that. Social media. You know, we heard about the kids that committed suicide because they were bullied on social media. We heard about people that were saved because of, you know, so it goes many different directions. But good thing to talk about.
Yep, and the topic doesn't end there. Thanks, guys, for having me. Just wanted to ask about the fake news stuff, and I'm going to drop down to chat, and hopefully next week I'll have more questions about great topics you bring up.
All right, Alfredo.
Thanks, Alfredo. Appreciate it.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, of course, you can call into the program this morning. 910. I'm sorry. 919-518-9773 is the phone number. Wipe
Yeah,
that
Nick.
smile off your face, Amnon.
Hey, it's fine. I mean, that's what comes into.
Kill
Yeah.
me. This is a big story this week, Amnon.
Okay.
Broadcom is moving its headquarters from Singapore to the United States.
Yep.
And with that, they're also continuing to explore the possibility of buying Qualcomm, which would make them the largest chip manufacturer headquartered in the United States, which would be huge. It would be massive.
And I wonder what it has to do with Trump.
Couldn't tell you. I mean, all I see here is a video of the CEO of Broadcom standing behind the president at the White House, so I'm sure it's got nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
But that would make them the biggest chip manufacturer. I can't believe this is shocking to me. It's probably not shocking to you. Broadcom was founded in 1991. That's not that old of a company.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us are using Broadcom in our computers.
I'm sure everybody that is listening to the show now has a Broadcom chip in something that they are using.
Right.
I mean, they're in everything. So they're moving their headquarters back. Now, that doesn't mean they're moving all of their production back, but it's a, I don't know, who knows. Maybe this is nothing but a talking point.
Well, they said that it will bring 20 billion income in the United States with the jobs that are coming in. So that's
So overall, I think that's pretty good news. And if they go through with the deal with Qualcomm, it'll be even larger news. But that's big stuff right there.
Yep, I'm sure we'll hear a whole lot more about Broadcom and Qualcomm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for this stuff. There's clearly some incentive now to move their headquarters back to the U.S. And if it's tax breaks, it's tax breaks. I'm not a big fan of playing to individual companies, but sometimes you just have to do that stuff to get the upper hand.
Absolutely. No, I mean, it should be done. They should give them tax breaks.
I don't necessarily know about should.
If you're gonna bring in jobs and you're gonna have thousands of people working,
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is it's not all. I'm not always the biggest fan of saying, oh well, let's play. The thing I'm not a fan is playing favorites, playing company to company. Like, oh, Broadcom gets this kind of tax break, but I'm not a small company like yours doesn't get anything. I'm not a fan of that per se, but there becomes a point where, Broadcom, massive chip manufacturer, sometimes you just got to bend the rules a little bit. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, that's Tish says massive news.
Yeah,
it really is huge news.
Yes, it would be nice. And did you get your iPhone 10 yet?
No.
Oh.
No, I wasn't going to be able to get it day one because I didn't pre-order it. Still planning on getting either that or the 8. Hopefully getting that, but we'll see what's available.
But as far as iOS, a research team from Tencent's Keen Lab were responsible for uncovering the iOS Wi-Fi exploit and an iOS Safari exploit. You hear a lot about malware on iOS now. A second participant, Richard Zhu, who goes by Fluorescence, managed to successfully exploit Safari just one day after Apple released 11.1 to address the crack Wi-Fi exploit and a long list of other vulnerabilities. iOS has been hacked again, on iOS as well. We said for years that no, the Apple is not virus-free, malware-free. It is just because these guys don't want to create anything that will not give them good return. And as long as the numbers are down, and not, Windows and Androids are all over the place. Now that the numbers are beginning to climb, even though it's little by little, you're going to see more and more and more. And if you have an Apple, you should worry about this. Any kind of a Mac, iPhone, iPad, they're going to get into it. Once they get into it, then they're going to attack everything. So beware. I mean, they're just cracking it and cracking it. There's no stopping it. There's absolutely no stopping it. It's good business for them. They're making a bunch of money. Did you see what the Bitcoin is at now? Mm-hmm. 7,000?
Yep.
These guys are and that's what they want you to send when they get you. It's business. And we are the goods, kind of. What else? This is this you'll like that, Nick. Think back to the mobile phone you had in 2010. I don't know. Did you have one in 2010?
Yeah.
It could access the internet, but it wasn't such a great experience. On average, people only spent 20% of their time on their phones back then. That's according to Zenith, which is a media agency. Today, by contrast, we spend about around 70% of our time. Well, I'm saying we and our time. I don't.
Oh, you do.
On the internet, on phones.
Bull crap.
The what?
Oh, well, bull crap. You do spend 70% of your time on the internet.
On the internet, yeah. But they're talking about on phones. Based on estimates and forecasts from more than 50 countries, covering 2/3 of the world population. By 2019, they said that it will rise close to 80%. What used to be called mobile internet is now just the internet. People are all over. It's just in the phone. They're in their phones. So it's very interesting. I mean, I remember the days when there was no such thing as the internet on iPhone, on a phone. It was a phone. You call people. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, here is this I don't understand. TV piracy services are being used by about 6.5% of North American households with broadband access, potentially costing legitimate TV providers billions of dollars a year, a new analysis found. Can you give me an example of TV piracy service?
Yes.
Who?
I mean, there's service?
Service. Yeah, it says TV piracy services.
Kodi, Kodi.
Okay, so how? Go ahead.
That used to be called. Jog my memory. Damn it. It used to be called XBMC is what it used to be called. The XBMC media server. It's now called Kodi.
Okay.
Inside of Kodi is just an open source media player.
Okay.
But people have built add-ons for Kodi to stream content illegally.
But where do they get the access, the program?
I have no idea. I don't.
What is somebody sitting at home have a camera on his TV and he's streaming?
No, I mean,
you know,
it's not necessarily live. It doesn't say live TV. It just says TV.
well, it's potentially costing legitimate TV providers billions of dollars a
Yeah,
year.
because people aren't buying cable subscriptions.
It
They're
says
just streaming the
pirate-
stuff for free.
Pirate services that offer live TV channels are apparently responsible for more downstream traffic each night than torrent downloads.
Yeah, that's Oh, well, a lot of people have capture cards. You can hook a capture card up to a cable box and stream it.
Yeah, but if you have a cable box, you're already paying them. How does that cost?
My point is, you could stream it to other people, Amnon. Just like
Oh,
you're
I
streaming
see
your
what you mean.
camera to
I see
other
what you
people.
mean.
If your camera was a
Yeah.
TV feed, you could stream that to. It's very common, and you know what? The problem is, and I'm not advocating piracy or stealing stuff, but the stuff, it's just too damn expensive. I mean, cable is outrageous. Half the channels are crappy. You don't watch them, and you end up paying for stuff that you don't want. So you just don't pay for it at all. And then when you want to watch something, you end up getting it for free, illegally, mind you, but free. Free is still free.
Well, it's. I mean, they're talking about $10 a month
For who?
for some of those. It says there may be 7 million U.S. and Canadian subscribers to pirate TV services that generally cost about $10 a month. And it says that amounts to $840 million of revenue a year. Now, he goes, we don't know how many people using pirate services would purchase a traditional cable or satellite TV package if the piracy option didn't exist. But if all those people instead purchased legal TV package for $50 a month, that would amount to another $4.2 billion revenue a year for North American pay TV providers. This is like, I remember the early days of computing. One of the most popular program to pirate. Oh, shoot. Now I can't remember the name of it. It's that CAD cam. Anyway, it was something like $3,000 package that you can design with. Somebody in the chat, help me here. But you know what? Nobody ever went after any of these people. And there were articles written about it, and they were saying that if you pirate it, then you probably will not buy it anyway. You're not somebody who's going to buy it. But if you pirate it and you take it to work, work will not use it because it's pirated, because they can get in trouble. But you may be able to show it to your boss, and they turn around and buy it. So it's sort of like, leave them alone, let them pirate it, let them copy it, let them use it. Somebody using it at home, you know they're not going to buy it if they didn't have it. It's just all right, I can get it. It's a $3,000 piece of software, and I've got it. Yeah, but what are you going to do with it? So I don't know here about all this losses. That's my point about this article is all
they're
the
estimated losses. I mean,
Yeah.
they're estimated. They're assuming that the assumption is that every copy that is purchased, or excuse me, every copy that is downloaded illegally would have been a purchase, which is just not the case.
No, it's not. So it's interesting. I mean,
I hope this stuff continues, because eventually these cable providers are going to have to wake up and figure out that they've got to make a decent priced service available to customers, or the piracy is just going to continue to go up and up and up and up and up.
I mean, here's somebody who's paying $10 instead of buying something for $50. Hey,
I got a thing in the mail the other day from Time Warner. I have a $40 a month internet package. It said add cable TV. I was curious. How much? $49. More than doubles the price of my cable.
No,
I mean, not going to happen.
no, it's not. And that's why people are doing it. You're right. Talking about broadband. According to Ars Technica, AT&T is reportedly abandoning its attempt to stop a Louisville ordinance that helped draw Google Fiber into the city. They're giving up. The telecommunication giant sued Louisville and Jefferson County, Kentucky, to stop an ordinance that gives Google Fiber, and other ISPs faster access to utility poles. AT&T's lawsuit was dismissed in August by a district court who determined that AT&T's claim that the ordinance is invalid are false. WDRB News and Louisville Business First are both reporting that AT&T has decided not to appeal the ruling. That is great. In most cases, whose money are they wasting when they're doing it? Taxpayer money. So, competition. Let them in. I mean, why are you afraid? Let them in. If they're better than you, better yourself. Do something that people would want to be. And one of the things is pricing. In areas where they have monopoly, they can charge whatever they want. Somebody else comes in, now we're going to have to lower the price. Oh, isn't that just too bad?
Damn, competition gets me every time.
And there are other parts of the country that's like that. I mean, over here, I don't know what's going on. I mean, in Raleigh, they're still working. Google is still working, but there's a North Carolina thing that is not. You can't let. Oh, you can't let local governments get involved in it and help. Yeah. Let me read this and then I want to talk about it a little bit. Google is pulling a software tool that lets small companies access search information on airfares, a potential blow to online travel newcomers. Google's tool was open in 2011 after its $700 million acquisition of ITA Software, an online airfare broker. In approving the deal, a federal judge required that Google keep an ITA flight search and pricing software called QPX accessible to third parties for at least 5 years. In 2014, Google created a cheaper version of the QPX software called QPX Express, meant to target smaller companies and startups. Google shut that service down due to low interest, according to a company spokeswoman. Google said it is keeping intact the version of the original software tool for corporate customers. Now, there was probably a lot of companies that poured their hard-earned dollars into building something that would have to do with that service. And now they're left out and to dry. It is the same thing that is happening with, and everybody heard that word, SEO. In many cases, SEO, search and engine optimization for a website, revolves and is planned and programmed around Google.
Yes.
It's not cheap. People are charging thousands of dollars a month to keep it up and to update it. But what happens is, this worked great in the early days, in the 90s and maybe the early 2000s. But Google realized, hey, we need to make the money, not them. So Google changes their algorithm more and more often, that what was done yesterday doesn't work today. So if you go and you hire somebody to do SEO for your website, you are wasting your money. I mean, look, if somebody's going to charge you $20 a month, $30 a month, $50 a month to sit there and work it and promote it, that's a different story. But when somebody comes in and says, you give me $2,500, I'll put you on the first page of Google. Scam. Or going to be a scam.
Well, not necessarily.
Well,
I think in a lot of cases, getting good SEO set up is not a bad idea. Paying monthly for it, I'm not sure.
Well, you have to update it. You have to keep updating.
Yeah.
But that's my point. What do you call good SEO?
I mean, getting your keywords and stuff set up from the start, I think, is not a bad. Not a bad thing.
No, that's a good thing. You should do that.
But I'm not sure about monthly. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's just that to climb the ladder, a lot of people are tempted to jump from the ground up to the top rank. Doesn't work, because chances are you'll fall. Just slowly. You being consistently on the web. You have good content. You have good keywords. And you will get known. To build it around what Google does today is bad. It's stupid, because it's not going to be good tomorrow or next week or next month or 6 months from now. And you paid a lot of money. I mean, I couldn't believe it. One of our customers, one of our actually sponsors here, called and said, Abnon, we got somebody to come and do SEO for the store. And I said, yeah, and? He said, well, he put us on first page in Google. I said, really? I want to see on what? And that person actually came up with a variation of their name. Something that nobody would ever type. I mean, it wasn't really anything that anybody would, but they created a word. And of course you're going to be the first one, because it's the only word on the internet like that. But who is going to use it? But a lot of people, say, here, type it in. See, you're on the first page. More and more people these days know that is not true. But there are still people out there that are trying and legitimately trying to build a business. And they should be aware of these things. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. So now all these people that built their business around that software that Google developed, that's it. They're out of business. I don't know what they're going to charge for that. Corporate customers. But it's probably going to be a lot more than what these companies were paying to begin with. 919-518-9773. Computers 2K voice on Skype. Almost lost it there. Let's see what else is happening here. Oh, Alan is saying Simply TV. Oh, so is that a piracy thing?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So here they are right out in the open, and they stay in business. Nobody's closing them down.
I guess.
Do you remember the old ladies that downloaded a song, that somebody downloaded a song on their internet and they got in trouble and for downloading a song, and now here they are in the open, and I don't know. This makes no sense. If it's so bad. So we heard about how bad the Surface is. Microsoft Surface. So Microsoft has shaken off claims that its Surface range is unreliable and said that fewer than 1 in 100,000 of new Surface devices have gone wrong. The rating service Consumer Reports raised a question mark over the reliability of the Surface line as a whole earlier this year. At the time, Consumer Reports surveyed 90,000 subscribers and found that 25% of Microsoft laptops and tablets will give owners problems by the end of the second year of ownership. Only 25%? What is give owners problems by the end of the second year? I mean, computers, desktops, TVs, everything gives you problems.
Yep.
1 in 100,000. Now that's coming from Microsoft, 1 in 100,000, but say that 1 in 50,000 is bad and got fixed. So we want cheaper and cheaper. We should put up with those problems every now and then. You can't have the cake and eat it too. Now, you have an iPhone.
Do?
Huh?
Did I do?
A bug in the new adaptive icons feature introduced in Android Oreo has sent thousands of phones into infinite boot loops, forcing some users to reset their devices to factory settings, causing users to lose data along the way. The bug was discovered by somebody, the developer of the Swipe for Facebook Android app, and does not affect Android Oreo 8.0. Are you familiar with all these operating systems?
Yeah, I mean, I know the names.
So I guess there's something newer than 8.0 now. In its default state. Or maybe that's the 8.0 in its default state, it doesn't affect it. The bug occurs only when apps that use adaptive icons. It's a new feature introduced in Android Oreo that allows icons to change shape and size based on the device they're viewed on, or the type of launcher the user is using on his Android device. So most of the last two problems that I remember reading about and talking about here are the problem with the iPhone with 11.1, that you cannot use the calculator because the pad, the GUI, it fades in and out as you press it. So it's the looks that cause the problem. And here again, it's the looks that causes serious problems. I mean, infinite boot. Don't they test these things anymore? I mean, why would anybody get a phone that wasn't tested and be the guinea pig and pay good money to be the guinea pig? I don't get it. These are things that you would see right off the bat. Yeah. I'm ranting, I know. Boot and repeat. Yeah, there was something I was trying. There was an article that says, should developers do their own QA? I thought they always did. Apparently not. You build an app or anything that goes on a phone or on a computer, and it gets screwed up, and it's like you shooting yourself in the foot. This is not something that, like the Samsung battery, that it took time before people realized, here, we have a problem here. This is something that you can do right in the beginning. It's a have one person sit there, say, go through all this, do all these things, test it. Here, you have a week. No, I guess not. This is a funny one. We've seen lots of blunders on stage, and still happen occasionally. But this must be the best of all. A Microsoft engineer downloaded, installed, and started using Google Chrome during a live presentation after Microsoft Edge, the default Windows 10 browser, stopped responder in the middle of a demo. The guy saying, I love it when demos break. So while we're talking here, I'm going to go install Chrome. He continues, before he started laughing with many people in the audience cheering. And we're going to not make Google better, he added, when unchecking the box to send usage statistics and crash reports to Google, as if this made things less worse. We're going to do this again. I'm sorry about this. The age of these machines are whacked down a little bit. There are some things that just don't work. Yeah, some things just don't work. How? Let's hear it here in the chat, and if you want to call in because you're not logged into chat. How many people use Edge? Nick, I know you don't use it. I don't.
Yes.
I don't use it. I don't know anybody that uses Edge. I know people that use Explorer, but I don't know people that use Edge. And as such, because it's not being used, it's going to have problems because it's not being tested enough, right? It just makes sense. 919-518-9773, Computers 2K voice on Skype. Call in, guys, or we're going to run out of things to talk about. Just Nick and me here. It's kind of slow. It was a slow week, technology-wise, anyway.
Yep.
And now this is something good. Mozilla engineers have started work on a project named Lockbox that they described as a work-in-progress extension to improve upon Firefox built-in password management. Mozilla released the new extension for employee use only at first, but users can install it by going to a link on Firefox's website to download. It revamps Firefox's antiquated password management utility with a new user interface. A new Firefox UI button is also included in case users want to add a shortcut in their browser's main interface to open Lockbox without going through all the menu options, which is nice. Support for a master password is included, helping users secure the password from unauthorized access by coworkers, family members, or others. Now, I use Chrome, and I do keep some passwords in Chrome. And yes, if I ever want to find out, you have to click on the settings and scroll down and advance and passwords and all that. This is nice to have an icon that would just poof and will open it, and you will have to put a password. Now, it works the same way in Chrome, is if you can go and look in the saved passwords, but if you want to look at the passwords, you have to type in the master password, and then it will open it up and let you see what it is. I haven't used the Firefox in some time, but it looks like it's evolving. Who knows? One of these days we may be back to it. It always was a good program. You look preoccupied. Don't tell me something is happening with the...
No, just sitting here.
Oh. So what else? I don't want to go through all the stories here now. What else happened
I don't have anything, man. Nothing.
this week? Yeah, Alfredo, that's right. It is evolving. You said you can't dial in again. No, I'm not asking you to dial in again. Alan, what do you mean when you use it here? You mean to log into this page with Firefox, kept leaving ghosts in the chat? If you're talking about going into the chat and you can't, after you get disconnected and you can't use the same name, that's got nothing to do with you. That's an Amnon problem. It has nothing to do. Oh, Edge? Okay, I don't know what Edge would do, but if that's the situation, that don't blame it on Edge. Now, I know that Edge doesn't do Flash, but this chat is not Flash. So that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know why it would do that. Tish, I have no idea what happened to Steve and Jorvik. I haven't spoken with them this week. I know Steve is spending a lot of time also on Pal Talk. But don't know. And, you know, they're busy. They're busy. It's fine. As far as Windows 10 upgrades, and I didn't know that it's still going on. If you've been waiting to claim your free Windows 10 upgrade using the Assistive Technologies exception, you need to act soon. In a quiet change to an obscure web page, Microsoft announced this week that those exceptions will end on December 31st, 2017. And there was an article that I was reading that they were talking about whether it's right to do that for people that don't use it. And some people are saying, look, I use the magnifier every now and then, so I'm using Assistive. The point was that Microsoft is trying to get everybody off of Windows 7 or 8 into Windows 10. And in that case, they were saying Microsoft will not mind that they did that knowing that not everybody that's doing it is really using the assistive. But you still have to have a key for a license for 7 or 8. The company left a giant loophole in a separate announcement at the same time, which was that under the terms of that announcement, individuals who use assistive technologies receive an automatic extension of the free upgrade offer. So they changed it now, and they said, okay, we're going to do it up to December 31st. So if you're going to go today, if you have a Windows 7 machine and you want to get Windows 10, or if you have a Windows 8 machine, you want to get Windows 10, you can still do it if you claim that you use the assistive technologies. You know, the screen reader, the magnifying glass. There's a few things there in the control panel.
There you go.
But they don't really verify or ask you to see that it's that you are actually using these. They just want you off of whatever you are and into Windows 10. I understand them. It's a lot cheaper to do that, to keep up with updates and all that to one operating system than to a whole bunch of them. Do you use Google Docs?
Yep.
Did you have a problem on Tuesday?
Don't remember specifically.
Well, it says on Tuesday, Google's cloud-based word processing software was randomly flagging files for supposedly violating Google's term of service, resulting in some users not being able to access or share their files. So Google explained the issue and addressed concerns that arose. 9 to 5 Google reports that several users on Tuesday morning reported no longer being able to open certain files they were working on in Docs, while others were locked out mid-edit. And Google said that on Tuesday, we mistakenly blocked access to some of our users' files, including Google Docs. This was due to a short-lived bug that incorrectly flagged some files as violating our terms of service. Afterwards, Google provided a comment to Gizmodo, noting that a code push made earlier that morning was at fault, and that full access has been restored to users hours after the bug first arose. The clarification goes on to explain how that error on Tuesday caused Drive to misinterpret responses from the antivirus system designed to protect against malware, phishing, and spam. So as a result, Docs erroneously marked some files as TOS violation and causing people not to be able to access them. This was a bug. Nick, what do you think should happen to the guy that shut down Trump's Twitter account?
Oh, I mean, nothing should happen to him.
There was some attorney on Slashdot that said he should get a lawyer and quick.
I mean, I think the bigger problem is why did a low-level worker at Twitter have the ability to shut down an account?
Right.
I mean, this is par for the course with liberals. I mean, I'm not surprised. Come on. Yeah. I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
Is anybody surprised by this? Par for the freaking course.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't call it a bug.
No, it's not a bug.
He went specifically for that account.
And I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Twitter knew about it completely.
Probably not.
Oh, I bet you they did.
I don't know.
But I bet you they gave him access to do it.
But that was his last day on the job.
I bet you.
So they say.
I bet you they. he asked them if he could do that on his way out, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they gave him that.
Oh. So yeah, that was the story that we were talking about earlier. It says that Facebook estimates that about 200 million of its more than 2.07 billion users may be fakes. That was from Colin Stretch, the general counsel of Facebook. That's what he told the Senate Intelligence Committee. And he said that the company was doubling its review staff to 20,000. There are 20,000 people that works at Facebook that just do review.
Interesting.
And using, I'm sure this is also, a lot of them are fake. And using artificial intelligence to find more bad actors. Now, Sean Edgett, Twitter general counsel, testified before Congress that about 5% of its 330 million users are false accounts or spam, which would add up to more than 16 million fakes. I mean, we're talking about 200 million fakes. It's mind-boggling. It's like nobody's checking. Nobody's checking. What 20,000? They're doubling, so they have 10,000. They're going to go to 20,000. They say. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can go now and I can open 10 Facebook accounts with 10 different email addresses. You cannot check it according to an IP anymore, or never could, because IPs change. You can't do it on IP, even if it's a static IP, because if you sit in an office and you open an account and then your colleague that's sitting across the room also wants to do it, it's going to come from the same IP address. So you just can't do it. But why would people want to have, why would 200 million people want to have a fake account on Facebook?
So what does fake mean?
Well, they're not real.
I mean, then I've got a couple fake Facebook accounts.
That you don't use, that you...
And I've got a couple fake Facebook accounts.
Because you changed the name, or...
Yeah, I've got a couple of private accounts that I use for some stuff. I've got accounts for old, like, some of the old podcasts and stuff I used to do. I mean, I guess those would be considered as fake, right?
Well, yeah, that's what they consider fake.
Well, then I've got a whole bunch of fake accounts.
Oh, okay. All right. You're fake.
That's fine. I can live with that.
And with that, I actually don't have any more stories.
I wish I could help. I've been looking. There really isn't anything of substance.
There's nothing wrong about finishing the show at 10:30.
No, I mean, this is when we ask people to call in and they don't. I mean, this is the end result. So it's all good.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. What's happening in the chat? What happened in the chat? Nothing really.
Nope.
No. I don't see anything.
Yeah, Alfredo. We appreciate you calling in. We got that.
He's not saying that he's calling now, and
I'm aware. No. That's fine. He called in.
Yeah, no, there's no. I mean, we're not trying to just stretch the show. If there's nothing to talk about, and nobody has any questions or want to discuss anything, there's no reason to stay on air. everybody can go and do other stuff too. I know I've got a bunch of stuff to do. So it's fine. All right. Well, let's cut it short, Nick. How about that?
Yep.
You don't mind, do you?
I got stuff to do. Nope.
Hmm?
No, I said no. I got stuff to do before the fair.
Okay.
So
All right. Is it wise to do a show with 1 megabit upload? No, you could do it, but if it all depends what you're gonna do. I mean, I used to do it. Oh no, it was 5 megabit. What's his name? Giles with Step Back in Time has 1 megabit in the UK, and he does a very, very popular show. It all depends what you're going to show and what you're going to do up there, though. You know, if you want to do a show, just do a show. I mean, you can always record the show locally at higher and upload it to YouTube. Right now, what are we using here? I don't know what Facebook uses. I think it's 2 point some megabit by default. And the other machine has 5 megabits, but it's using about a third of it. So, yeah, you can still do it. Yep. All right. All right, guys. It was fun. Nick, we pulled it.
yep.
Are you going to do the show tonight?
Maybe. I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Nick has been working, burning the candle from both ends between work and, well, no, work at the office and then at the fair in Wilmington. And games and eating. So he has little time for a shower and coffee, maybe. Look at you.
I'm sorry. I'm dealing with an issue.
All right. So good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. And while you're at it, like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So just like you heard Nick saying, he may be doing it. I think he will. Tonight at 7 on Wilmington Big Talker 106.7. You can listen to Against the Norm. You can listen to it on TuneIn. Just look for Big Talker 106.7. See everybody.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.